Hi, I'm Zachary Angelat, and this is the gist of Go structs that are embedded and how to utilize them. I have a few structs that are built out. You can kind of think of it as the top level as book, and it has the page struct, and the page struct is built out, which has the content struct, and that's about it. And it was pretty much built out so that it emphasizes the simple example of embedding structs and how to utilize them. And then I have a a function here that's just update content. You'd obviously have many more, but there's just a really simple example. And so I have the function being called here, and it takes in the content type, but I have to initialize the data first, because otherwise there's nothing for it to actually work with. So I was going to do b equals, and we have book, and that's from the book struct right here. And so then we have the first property ID, and we do colon, let's say 1 name, good, whoop, I did double, good book, and then we have the page. Now when we do this, you can start a new line and do colon page, initialize the page struct now, which has ID, say 1 name, good page, and then URL, which you could just do whatever, and now we have another struct, the content. So we can break that down again and do content, colon, content, and then we initialize that struct, and that just has ID and content, which is the actual content. Now there are certain rules to this, like you cannot do that. It just won't like it. If you go to run it, it'll give you a crazy kind of error. It's one of those things that you just kind of, well, this one's split up by D, but even if you were to do this, it still would give you the same. Oh, this one worked. I'm not sure why last time it didn't. Maybe because I had done this. I'm guessing that's extra space. Maybe it was just because of this one. Let's see. Yeah, no, it wasn't just that. It was all of these. I'm presuming it's counting it as space for this. And that's maybe why it didn't like it. So I guess watch your end curlies. That's really about it. All the rest, I guess with the commas, you can just, it doesn't really matter. But anyways, so when we break this down, we're embedding the structs, and then when we initialize them, we have to kind of embed them as well. And so by doing so, we kind of get a build out of what's going on. And in order to utilize them, this function takes a content type. You couldn't just pass in B, you have to get down to the actual content. And so you could think of these sort of as tables in a sense. And the one thing you do have to worry about in doing this is if you go to pass around B, or you start adding more properties or more objects, it can get pretty heavy. And so you can, in a certain sense, pass pointers and everything in order to sort of mitigate some of that, instead of doing copies, because you may need to change some of these values, split them, whatever it is. But it's just a quick, easy way to try and work with embedded structs. Another thing you can do, so let's say we're going to do update page. And we're going to do page. And we have this function that we're going to call and we're going to try and update the page. And so all you're doing then is passing in literally the page data. Except that you can't have it equal the same variable, say h. And we'll see if this actually works. Yeah. So as long as you have this initialized, you could kind of pick apart where exactly you're going to edit things and or update them. Yeah, so that's sort of how you would do embedded structs and how it kind of works. And you do have to worry a little bit about your syntax and where things are. All right, thank you.